Hi there. I'm Ihnatko. You might know me from my award potentially winning columns from the Chicago Sun-Times about technology, or Macworld, or Tech Hive, or Boing Boing, or other places that are foolish enough to decide to take my synaptic misfirings and expose them to a broader audience. I also do podcasts in video and audio form, a couple for the 5x5 network. I have my own the Ihnatko Almanac, my exceedingly sporadically old tech news show, but I also do the Mac Break Weekly podcast for the mighty This Week in Tech network. I also work at a specific Dunkin' Donuts that's open 24 hours in the New England area, so you might have seen me there. I really don't know where you might have seen me from. But you're watching now, and that's really all that matters. Let me just say, I hate doing videos. Absolutely hate them. They're just so much trouble to do. I'm never happy with the results. I don't have time to write a nice produced script, and so I wind up having to make things up as I go along. I have sort of mentally post-it noted right up here above the camera is maybe the 2 or 3 things I'd like to hit while I'm talking about this. But as you can see right here, I'm liable to sort of be like a hummingbird, just sort of around the topic. Meanwhile, cameras are rolling, 35mm Ultra Panavision film stock. That's not cheap. Then I'm going to have all this processed and then time-coded and color-corrected. It adds up into money. And so so that's usually the answer that I give whenever I'm asked, why do you not do videos? Especially since so many of the people who are in your line of work do a lot of videos and have a really active YouTube channel. Whereas the last time that I posted an informative YouTube video, these were the color of this. So that gives you an idea of how long it's been and how much I like doing this sort of stuff. But then the other day I got to thinking about the fact that I do enjoy doing podcasts. I do at least 2 a week, sometimes as much as 4 or 5 if I'm guesting on other people's shows or if I'm doing special stuff for myself. And I think back to I vividly remember the first time I recorded a podcast. This was when GarageBand first included support for podcasts, and mostly as a way of testing out how well that worked, I decided I'm going to record a short series of podcasts about movies that I like. I think I called it the Little Red Envelope podcast, based on, this was before Netflix was streaming even, but here's movies that I'm getting via Netflix. And I remember how horrible that process was. I remember pacing back and forth across my office for what seemed like an hour and 15 minutes with a little Sony mini disc recorder in my hand and a little microphone just clipped to my collar here. Just like Richard Lewis, just then damn it, then well, but this and that. And as horrible as that was, then there was the horror of actually having to dump that into GarageBand and then edit it and listen to my own damn voice. You think it's hard on you. This is the stuff that I decided to post. I had to listen to the raw audio, and it was painful to listen to. And then I had to go into GarageBand, and I felt like I had to edit out every pause and every and then every single time I got sidetracked by something else before I managed to get the horses back on the mountain path. It was just horrifying. And then I got over it. I got a little better at doing this sort of stuff. I cannot say that how I'm speaking to you right now is the most polished and professional presentation. But look, I just did 3 P's in a row. That's alliteration, man. And that came right off the top of my noodle right here. So you get better as you do things, as you do more. Also, you get a little bit less focused on the things that are not necessary. It's not necessary to delete every single stutter and every single and every single pause out of an audio recording. So long as it's not taking over the audio, it's fine. And really what people care most of all about is not the technical proficiency of what you're recording. They care about, do you have something to say, and are you saying it on a regular enough basis that you look forward to the next installment of whatever this is going to be. So I thought, and it also made me remember that I love that this is a brand new way of talking to people. I feel as though My self-imposed mandate is to be partially an educator, but mostly I feel as though I have a point of view that will have some value to some people. I won't argue whether it's high value to a lot of people, but of some value to some people. And so my job is to find ways of sharing that point of view to people who are interested in it. And the great thing about 2014 is that there's so many different ways for people to get their favorite kind of content. When I started as a teenager, my first published column was when I was a teenager, 1989, I think, maybe 1990. The only way to do that was to write a magazine column. And then, fortunately, as the years went by, I kept getting more opportunities to bring my point of view to other mediums. People invited me to speak, so I added speaking actually live to audiences to part of that. Podcasts happen, websites happen, video podcasts happen. I got invitations to start doing radio and television kind of regularly. Each time it was exposure to people who maybe wouldn't be terribly interested in reading, in accessing the way that I like to communicate. Like my single preferred way of communicating is still a column of 1,000 to 3,000 words on a website. And I say website instead of in print because, they don't care if we go 1,800 words. They don't care if there's a little review of a little iOS app that really should be only 4 or 5, or sorry, not should, but could be 400 or 500 words. But I like it, and I think of new ideas to talk about, new reasons to, new topics to introduce to it. So if it goes to 1,500 words, 1,800 words, it's fine. So long as the newspaper doesn't have to pay me extra for the extra 1,000 words, they're cool with it. And there's, unlike 35mm film stock, which is what I'm recording on right now, I'm using the same cinematographer as lit California Suite, the Neil Simon movie with Alan Alda and Jane Fonda. So it's lit very much like digital video. As a matter of fact, that's the effect that I'm going for. So if it looks like I just hooked up a webcam to my Mac Mini here in the studio I normally podcast is, that's not what happened. There's actually a crew. Yeah, see, they're waving. I can't turn the camera on because it's on one of those Westcam gimbals and it's wired up for. So I'm told that that they really can't turn the camera on. But see, and we go into this is why video is difficult. I amused myself by going into a digression about how complicated this video is, and I've almost lost my complete train of thought. What I mean to say is that there are people who maybe don't want to read 1,000 words or 2,000 words, or maybe aren't available today, right now, to do that, but they've got time to kill inside the car, and they really like listening to the podcast that I record. Or maybe just like you're doing right now, you've got some time to kill, as George Carlin said about the first half hour you're in the office, screw the boss, those first 20 minutes belong to you. And maybe you just want to sit and watch a video, or do email and have this in the corner of your peripheral vision. And so every time there's a new way of communicating with people, it's an opportunity for me to reach people that maybe wouldn't be hearing me otherwise. So I feel like I'm leaving not money on the table, but people's attention on the table. More significantly than that, again, getting back to the idea that I hated recording podcasts. Hated doing podcasts. Did I spell that correctly? Yes, I did. Good. I don't look stupid, or at least not stupid because I can't spell the word hated. I got over it and I got to enjoy it. And I came to realize, though I, at this moment, still hate doing video, really hate it, I realized that the reason why I'm not doing video is not because it's too hard, or not because, I'm not interested in talking to people who get stuff off of YouTube, because that's not true. It's because I hate it, and it's hard, and it's awkward, and I don't like it, and so that's not a good reason not to do something. So I kind of made a deal with myself. I will commit to doing regular YouTube posts for 4 weeks, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday posting for 4 weeks. That's 12 episodes total. But the rule for me is that I don't have to sweat about it. I can get away with doing the very least I can possibly do. That's why, that's also the other factor in getting me to do this, was I realized that the very least I can do is a good title for a podcast, for a video series. So, as you can see, I actually it's Sunday as I record this. I actually woke up about an hour ago, and yes, it is about 2:15 in the afternoon right now. I don't normally sleep until noon or 1 on a Sunday, even on a Sunday, but you see, we get back to the reasons why I hate doing video. I thought that, okay, why don't I just do this very quickly? Last night I thought, why don't I just do this very quickly? So I got my my digital SLR, put it on a tripod, aimed it at a chair in my living room over there, and fast forward to an hour and a half later because the sound wasn't quite right, and I couldn't get this is the first time I'd used that camera for decent video, so I had to mess around with all the settings, and then I thought the ambient light might be okay, but no, it was really terrible, and fast forward to it's 4:30 in the morning, and I'm like, here's 90 seconds of test video where I hate the sound and I hate the video, and I look like hell, and I look irked because I look like someone who's been spending 90 minutes trying to solve technical issues. And so, again, that's why I went to bed at around 6 a.m. today. So then I realized that this is not the very least I could do. The very least I could do was go into this studio in my house where I have lighting set up, where I have a camera set up, where I have a microphone set up, and just click on QuickTime Player and just record. So this is like that breakthrough moment when I realized that, yes, you do stutter sometimes in your podcast, and yes, sometimes you do go, but that will not offend people because this is not a medium in which perfection is expected. I will say parenthetically, though, that is another intimidating reason why that's kept me off of YouTube for quite some time. Again, back when my sideburns were copper red, this was a time when you really could just hold a camera like this, and the standard was, wow, you have an HD camera? Wow, you must work for NBC or something. And now I have friends who do just amazing stuff, just like real TV quality stuff, broadcast quality stuff. I'm not even talking about Jay Leno's Garage. Jay Leno is not a friend. I think we get along quite well now that I know him mostly through his car work. I could help him to program in Perl, perhaps, and he could tell me how I can keep my 15-year-old car running at least another 8 days. Invitations to you, Jay. But I'm even talking about like Don McAllister, who doesn't make any pretensions to building a set and having complicated effects and hiring good-looking people necessarily. Everyone on his videos are great. He's great. He's wonderful. I'm saying, but you know what I mean. We're entering kind of into this dangerous phase that's similar to what happened in the 40s and 50s, because in the 40s and 50s in television, they were just grateful to have like the entertainment critic, the theater critic of the newspaper, come on and bring the authority of their newspaper to a television show, and that's how someone as ugly as Ed Sullivan got on TV. And then 10 years later, they had figured out the industry a little bit more, and they stopped hiring weird-looking people to be on TV. And now it's like that's not to say anything about the skill level of the people who are on TV, but now there are enough people who want to be on TV that you can find someone who is knowledgeable and entertaining and informative and very friendly, but also looks nice and maybe decided to spend the $4,000 on the teeth and the hair and the nose. Again, I've had my nose broken a couple times. Or, in fairness, sometimes the nose breaking was a completely voluntary thing. It wasn't that someone I haven't. Again, I digress. So it's kind of I don't know if I call it bothersome, but I think it's interesting that now you're slowly seeing attractive people being on these really, really commercial YouTube channels. Again, nothing against them, but if I feel as though if I really want to do this, and not that I do, but maybe I should find out if I do or not. If I really want to do this, I might have just a 3 or 4 year window before, YouTube now will ban a video based on it contains copyrighted content. I don't want to upload a video and then access it later and then there's static saying, I'm sorry, this video has been removed because the host is way, way too goofy and doughy looking. I'm not sure it's coming. I'm just saying I could see a potential reality in which that would happen. That's all. So, that's the deal. One topic, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I have to do it Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It has to be something. For 4 weeks, I will guarantee only, until I get so disgusted that I have to do a very humiliating video in which I say, yeah, I missed it. I'm sorry. I didn't have to do that. But yes, for 4 weeks, 12 episodes, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. One topic only. The very least I can possibly do. So maybe I don't even have to go into the studio. If it's Tuesday night and I haven't done something, Wednesday morning, if I just want to my iPhone and do it that way, that's perfectly fine too. But like I said, getting back to the central point of here, it's important to keep an eye on your own behavior and understand the reasons why you do the things that you do. And and I wouldn't call it a recurring thing, but oftentimes when I force myself to do something I don't want to do, it is because I realize the only reason why I'm not doing it is because I don't want to do it. I don't like it. And like I said before, that's not a really great reason to do something. If after 4 weeks I decide that I legitimately still hate this, it's not only the technical stuff of setting up the lights in the video, and even if it's just holding up a phone, but also after this is done, I have to then dump it into an editing app and somehow cut it a little bit and maybe already I'm thinking, okay, should I have a title for the very least I can do, or is it more in keeping with the spirit of this concept that I just post this raw video without doing anything with it? Who knows? But at the end of 4 weeks, after doing 12 of these, I feel as though I'll have a good idea of either I've gotten over the hang-ups I don't like. I mean, another parenthetical, God, I hated the sound of my own voice, but I got over that. Still don't think I necessarily have a great voice, but I got over the sound of my own voice. Then when This Week in Tech, when Mac Break was the first one to go to an all-video podcast, I'm like, oh, I have an Ed Sullivan voice. I don't have a face. I don't have a Troy Donahue. They're going to kick me out of podcasting because I'm too doopy looking for the internet even. And again, I'm still not Troy Donahue. I suppose if you've been born after 1980... No, if you're born after 1980, maybe Jonas Brothers? I don't know. Cute camera-ready face. But I got over the fact that, okay, it's okay to... like most of the people on Mac Break, I found that I'm no longer startled by my own appearance anymore. And maybe I'll get over that too. And even this, again, I'm telling you, this is the shirt I slept in. I'm not kidding. I woke up about 90 minutes ago, and I'm just getting my day started. My hair is a mess. That's why I'm wearing a hat. I haven't even really shaved this morning, so hopefully the HD will deal with that. I think it's really cool that I think I look actually really cool because this is a rare thing where like my hat matches my shirt, so it actually looks like I put things together. Also, I've got my Pixar RenderMan Canada walking teapot matching the hat. Damn it! Maybe I'm like a savant. No, I'm definitely not a savant. But that's the deal. So, like I said, we'll be seeing each other at least 11 more times. If we see each other less than 11 more times underneath this title, then that means I will have failed, and I promise that I'll post a video that explains exactly why I failed and how badly I failed. Not all of these are going to be this long. Again, the very least I can do. Also, again, if you want to thank me for this, no worries. It was the very least I can do. Thanks.